Hello and welcome to the OpenReview Tutorial 1, how to save an OpenOffice document in the Microsoft format. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with OpenOffice, it is a freeware alternative to the Microsoft programs with which you're likely familiar. So we have 6 programs that come with the OpenOffice suite. First is Writer, which is a Microsoft Word equivalent, Calc, which is a Microsoft Excel equivalent, Impress, which is a Microsoft PowerPoint equivalent, and 3 more which are actually entirely of their own and really have no Microsoft program that is exactly the same. So the thing about these is that most people don't know that if you have these, you can actually save in Microsoft formats, which is extremely helpful because if you're trying to reach somebody with only the Office programs, you can do this without having to pay the exorbitant amount of money to purchase them. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So what you're going to want to do is go to File, at the top left corner, and instead of clicking Save, which you normally would, you're going to click Save As. It's going to pop up a window and ask you what you want your name to be titled, and you can type that in there, and it will ask you right below it, which you may not have noticed, Save As Type. And that will by default choose a ODF text document or .odt. And you'll click that drop down menu there and you'll see lots of different options. What you're going to want to click is the Microsoft Word 97/2000/XP. That's the .doc. And the easiest way to remember is it's just the highest one that's still Microsoft. And the reason for that is it's the most recent one and it will be likely the most compatible with other computers. So you're just going to click Save. It's going to pop up with this window asking you if you want to keep the current format or save in ODF format. And the reason it asks this is if you have a really important document that has lots of different formatting in it, for example, tabs and the tables and all kinds of things like that, if you save it in a different format in any program, there's a chance that it may not save exactly the way you want it to and it'll look different. If you save it in ODF format, you can open it back up and look exactly the same way you want it. You had it when it was on your computer. If you save it in a different format, for example a .doc, it may change it just because of the way it moves over. I personally haven't had a problem with this, and I've done some stuff with some funky formatting, but it's possible. So if you're ever doing this with something that isn't fairly straightforward, it's safest to first save in an ODF format, go to back to the file save like we just did, and then save it in a Microsoft doc format. And what you're going to do then is click Keep Current Format, and that will keep it as a .doc. So in Impress, which is basically PowerPoint, you're going to do the same thing. Click File, Save As, it pops up, and instead of ODF Presentation or .odp, you're going to go down and look for the Microsoft PowerPoint 97/2000 XP. Same thing as the one before, it's just the highest Microsoft labeled file format. And you're going to click Save. And once again, keep current format. And you're going to do the same exact thing here in Calc, Save As, and then Microsoft Excel 97, the highest one. Thing about these 3, the database, draw, and math, is that they don't actually have any Microsoft equivalents. So when you're going to go to Save As, you're not going to see any options here to, it's just going to be ODF database. So for example in Draw, what you're going to want to do is if you want other people to be able to open it, instead of going to Save As, you go to Export. And the reason Export is different is instead of saving it as something that this program can still edit very well and just normally, you're going to save it as a different kind of image. For example, a JPEG, and the JPEG is the most widely used and easily openable file out there, arguably, for images. So you're going to want to click something like that, or .bmp, which is bitmap, or .png, or you don't really have to worry about that though. It's really basically on what would be most easily openable. So when you export something as opposed to saving it, which you really can't do because there's no Microsoft equivalent here, is that this program won't be able to edit it the same way that you could before. It doesn't remember all of the options that you have, and it basically just reads it as flat colors or text. So it's going to be similar in math. The thing about math is it's a very specific use. So it's for writing equations that you can display easily and kind of import into the other OpenOffice programs. So if you're trying to look really fancy and you don't want to have all those lines that you would do it in, and you would do it in PowerPoint or something, and just kind of place the text everywhere. This formats it all very nicely, and that's what makes this program pretty neat. So really, the only thing you can export it as is a .pdf. So there's really no other programs out there that handle the same kind of thing. There are a couple, but I'm pretty sure those are free as well. So this would be the better option. So you just want to do PDF, which is also very widely acceptable and very easy to manipulate. So that's that. The thing about the last one, if I can find it, here we are. Database. There is no Microsoft equivalent, and there is also really nothing else to save it as. I haven't used this program a whole lot. I can't tell you about it, but I know it does handle data kind of like Calc or Excel, but it's more for, I think, statistical things. I couldn't be positive, but if you ever have the need to save this in any file format, then go ahead and let me know, and I'll do my best. But I really doubt that's going to be a problem. Remember, if you ever have any comments or questions, you can email them to TheOpenReview@gmail.com. And as always, subscribe, comment, check out. This is The Open Review.